Well, this is episode 370 of the 3 Point Podcast. We're presented, as always, by the Memorial Healthcare Wellness Center. The August swim lesson wait list is open. Make sure you follow the Wellness Center on Facebook for more details. We're also brought to you by AZee Branding Solutions, Jacobs Insurance Agency, Kori Shook and Associates Real Estate Services, Nelson House Funeral Homes, Rivals Taphouse and Grille, Success Group Mortgage and Servicing, the Shiawassee County Fair, which is going to be starting up just down the road, and ALS of Michigan. But what we like to always do is play a little catch up. Jared and I had some time together at our annual family get together at Black Lake. I'm going to come right out of the gate and say he smoked my ass in cornhole.
I nearly blanked you. I had a heart, so I had to let you score a point. But I would have blanked you 15-0 if I wanted to. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, really, you come back, and I was just listening to a podcast today where he says, when you come back from a trip, usually you're pretty excited to get home. That first day, you traveled all day, you flew, whatever. It's kind of nice that first night, but then it's usually the second day where you really feel the post-trip depression, and that's where I felt it. Back to normal now. We actually have my cousin's wedding coming up on Saturday, so it'll be nice to see everybody again after the weekend trip. But my biggest takeaway from this whole thing, man, was like raccoons. I tell you what, they are mean buggers. They're bold, they're brave, they're mean, they're ugly. They were everywhere this weekend. I don't know. Like, there's been years in the past where you'll shine your light up in a tree and there's 4 eyes staring back at you, a couple raccoons at this campground. But it was like they were on roids or something, or they snorted coke out of somebody's, got into your 1970s bag, Ted, or so. You probably never did that back in the day, but it's a funny joke. But it's like they got into your 1970s bag and were going wild all weekend or something. Because first night we get there, we wake up and the entire camp has been destroyed. They ripped open everything. All the food's been eaten. Canisters holding food has been flipped over. Tubs broken into. What's funny is they were just mean, and it was almost like they were sending a message. My uncle had this trail mix bag, big old 5-pound trail mix bag. They ripped it open. I think they had 2 bites, and then just moved on to the good stuff, the bread, the buns. So that happened night 1. Then night 2, I'm waking up. My phone died, of course. I'm by myself basically at this campground. It's a downpour. I'm walking just to go pee, and all of a sudden I just hear a hiss right underneath this table. And I felt so bad for everybody living in this campground. I was like, what the F is that? It's what I yelled to myself at 2 a.m. I run back, finally pee. For the rest of the week, I didn't even leave my tent to pee. I just zipped it open, kept my feet inside, and just went out. Basically, it's the only way to do it. It's freaking terrifying. So finally, what my uncle had a good idea. He heard from somebody else was, okay, let's get buns and let's just douse them in the hottest hot sauce you've ever seen and put it basically on the edge of our campground to scare these raccoons away. And what was funny is it didn't scare them away at all. I think they actually liked it. It tasted good. They came closer. It didn't even matter. They're scaring us. People are hiding behind their wives because they're scared of these raccoons running up on our campsite. So I don't know. It was a long-winded way of saying they are fascinating creatures. How they're not scared of anything. It's Tyrann Matthew used to have the nickname Honey Badger because they just don't care about anything. They'll fight anything. That's how it feels with the raccoons, man. They couldn't be bothered. It was their campground. We just were staying in it. That's how it felt.
Yeah, especially if you're just leaving food out for them. I mean, usually you put the food in your car, you have it sealed up, or
thank you.
String it up. String it up into a tree.
Put logs on the food things. They flipped over the tubs with a piece of wood on them. I've never seen anything like it. They are smart. You look at our Yeti cooler and there's paw marks on it because they've been trying to get into it. It's how do they even sense that there's food in there with an air compressed closed Yeti cooler? How do they even know there's food in there? It's they're smart.
They live at a campground and they have really good noses.
That's right.
Yeah, it's nuts.
No, raccoons are. I mean, they're basically. I mean, they're just pests. But yeah, you could definitely. There's ways around, to avoid raccoons coming into your campsite or whatever. But yeah, it's never fun when you wake up in your garbage can or whatever. Everything in your campsite's all tore apart from raccoons.
Well, what happens too, let's be perfectly honest here, as an outsider, because I stayed in the luxurious headquarters of the lodge, but you campers, there's no getting around it. There's so many beers flowing at night. You don't even think about putting the food away. I mean,
what we did, we weren't idiots. Okay, so truth be told, the trail mix was the one thing that was left out.
Okay.
And they didn't even want that. The other things, it was just stuff that they broke into and got, man. And what's scary about it is you're sitting there in your tent, half awake, half sleeping. You can hear them like trying to get into things, and you hope they go away. They don't go away. They stay for like 45 minutes before they finally, my uncles finally got up and started moving stuff around so they would stop trying to get into it. It's like they're just relentless.
Right. Well, you did bury the lead a little bit too. It's never any fun to camp in the rain, and they had tornado warnings up there. A couple tornadoes touched down on Wednesday was it?
Oh, it's horrible. It was horrible.
And tents were destroyed. Your tents were destroyed, right? Pretty much.
Well, it's funny is we took the shuttle, and my tent was the one you could see first, and so everybody's laughing at my tent that's literally been basically upended. Literally, all my clothes, my razors are ruined. I haven't been able to shave my head in 5 days because my razors got rusted out because it got flooded so bad. So we wheel it around, and you see my tent's all the way destroyed. Everybody's laughing. Go up like 10 feet further. Oh, everybody's tent is destroyed. Mm-hmm. So that was a pleasant moment for like 5 seconds. Like, oh, you guys thought you were funny laughing at me. No, it's your tent got destroyed too. So whenever you're up there, it's a good reset from community, man. It's nice. What's kind of sucks, but it's also nice. Like finally, there's some phone connection up there at the campground where you get some connection. Whereas in years past, it's SOS signal. You couldn't hear or see anything. So it sucked. The tornadoes rolled through. But what's amazing about that up north soil, man, it's sandy soil. I used to remember working for a landscaping company. You'd be glad up there working because you stick your shovel in the ground, it goes a foot deep without even trying. But you dig up here in a hard ground, you can hardly get through. It's that sandy soil, so it soaked up a lot of that water. Yeah,
and the other nice thing, despite the rain, and Matt will agree with this, there's nothing like going up north. I mean, it's just nice to go up there, get away from things, be in the woods. You know, a lot of different activities when you're all the way up to Black Lake. You're close to Mackinac, Sheboygan, Indian River, all those towns. Burt Lake's a beautiful lake. We've spent a day there, swimming at the beach. And we did a nice raft ride, 2-hour raft ride down the Sturgeon River there that comes right into Burt Lake. That was fun. So there's all kinds of fun activities. And I mean, you got plenty of golf in too, Jared.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the thing that was stupid, and long story short, basically we played golf on Mackinac Island, which is something I've always wanted to do. We go there usually every year. And every time I pass this course called the Jewel right by the Grand Hotel, I'm like, man, that would be a blast to play. It looks like it's got the most magical holes. It did. It's a little 9-hole course. The whole back nine, you have to take a horse and buggy to get to the back nine. So we didn't do that. Kind of dumb. I probably should have really thought about this. But for context, we went there last year. We were just walking around looking at the clubhouse pro shop. Everything's super expensive. Like, we're like, wow, we can't even buy like a ball marker in this clubhouse. The starter goes, hey, you guys want to go play? This is at like 7 p.m., like 6:30, like dusk. Like it would have been a long day. And I was there with my girlfriend. So I was like, I don't really want to play. Well, we got a free tee time. You guys go play for free. It's like, we don't got clubs. He goes, well, we can give you clubs. Like I got clubs for you right here. You can go play. So that was lingering in our mind. So we said, all right, let's go play it again next year. Like, why not? That guy was being nice. I walk in there. I just had a t-shirt on, which I had on the year previous. And he goes, first thing the guy says, you got a polo? Do you have a collared shirt? No. Second, he said that. I'm like, how dumb am I that I thought I was just going to walk on this course without a collared shirt and play? So I'm like looking around at this pro shop, which is attached to the Grand Hotel, which if you know anything about how expensive the Grand Hotel is, like this is going to be $1 zillion. I'm literally like the cheapest polo you can find is $150. I'm like, I'm kind of looking around like, man, are we going to do this? Like we kind of screwed ourselves, but we got to do this. So I bought like $150 polo. It's a nice polo, but my God, when you end up getting that bill with the $100 round, the rental of the clubs, the polo, the balls you had to buy because balls didn't come with the rented clubs. It's like, I'm like out of money this week. I have no other option. But no, it was a freaking blast. The course is designed by Jerry Matthews, who designed Eagle Eye, Hawk Hollow, those type of courses. So it was redesigned in 1985. And I'm not kidding you. 9 of the most scenic holes you've ever seen. Beautiful waterfall like flowing through it. Great lookouts where you see the bridge and Lake Michigan, Lake Huron. If it is Huron, I always get that mixed around.
It is.
It was just awesome. It was awesome. I actually played well, which helps. So no, it's a great time, and now it's back to reality, and it's the sign that summer is over. So
yeah.
You said summer's over. It's not even August yet.
Yeah, in my view, that's how it rolls. Once preseason football is on the calendar, man, that's hell. That's when you know it's usually because I think it's just because I associated with when I was a kid and like football. Like, oh, football's starting like in a week. still long summer. Here come 2-a-days. So I think that's where it kind of comes into play.
Have you ever played there's a course up there that's from like 1898 or something, isn't there?
Yeah, Wawashkamo. That one I would have liked to have played. That's on the back half of the island. You got to take it would have been just a whole cluster logistically to figure out, all right, we got to get our clubs. We got to take the horse and buggy to this course. We got to coordinate a horse and buggy back. I could have probably solved it in a day. It just wasn't worth the work to me. And there's this great course that's right when you get off the boat. It's like, we'll just play this. So that was the thought.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize there was 2 of them because I thought that old one was the only. There's 3 on Mackinac Island, huh?
I thought there was 3. I mean, definitely the 2. I know that the Wawashkamo is, what is it? It's considered like an American golf historical.
Yeah,
it's something like that. It's
courses,
one of the oldest continuously played golf courses in America or something like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was like an old battlefield. I think how they describe it, how they kind of trick you is like, and this guy was explaining to us in the clubhouse, is we played the Grand Nine. There's the Grand Nine. There's Wawashkamo, which is that course we were talking about, which is not. It only has 9 greens, so that's basically only a 9-holer. But they have 18 tee boxes that you can play, and they're able to do that because there's like nobody ever playing it, so you can just jump around and hold a hole. You're not really going to run into anybody else. Then there's the Woods Nine, which is the one we would have take the horse and buggy to. So the Woods Nine and the Grand Nine make the Jewel, which is what we played. But we only played the Grand Nine of the Jewel. So it's kind of like 3 courses, but it's also 2. It's kind of hard to explain. So or I just explained it, I guess. But that's technically there's 3 and there's 2, depending on how you view it. So.
Well, anyway, did you have your Sunday scary when you got back?
Well, yeah, it was. We're going to talk about it. It was watching Happy Gilmore too, man.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that.
I was looking. That came out Friday, and I was like, just thinking of the calendar. Like, I've been looking forward to watching that movie ever since they announced that it was coming out 2 or 3 years ago. Fell on the calendar right when we were up north, no connection, camping. I was thinking about it all weekend. Like, man, I can't wait to get home and watch that movie. I cannot wait. And it was fun for maybe the first 30 minutes, and then it just jumped off the rails. But more to come on that that later.
Sounds good, Matt. How about you? You had a good weekend? Everything going?
I mean,
okay?
It's for me, it's still summer. I don't know if we're already turning the calendar over to fall, but for me, it's still summer. I mean, it hasn't been below 100 degrees here for about a month or 2. It seems like the heat wave or whatever. So it's super hot, but yeah, I mean, we're just living at the pool and going out to friends' houses and stuff like that. And yeah, just enjoying summer.
That's the way to do it. And Jared talked about football, that kind of signals the end of summer. I always thought Shiawassee County Fair kind of in conjunction, when the fair came around, summer was going to be coming to an end before you know it. And, my wife always says, and I agree with her 100%, you always hate to see the end of summer, but it means it's football season and it's all good. It's all good.
It's football season.
It's a great way to ease into it, man. It's perfect. That's the only saving grace on summer ending is that it is football starting. The month of September is the best. I hate the month of August, but I love September and October. August is where you're just burning in the heat. Like I said, it's just bad memories from football, I think, is why I think that. But you got to admit, there's something like once the calendar flips to August, it's like you're in getting back to school mode almost.
Yeah.
Didn't used to be that way. I mean, for me, it was, we used to start school the end of the month, or after Labor Day. Some schools around here are starting next week. So,
crazy.
I mean, it is crazy. But, I mean, for me, August was always still a good 3 weeks of summer left. I mean, it was always still going to the beach and going up north.
But you see once you see the finish line, man. Once you see the finish line, it's over. Then that's almost in the back of your mind. When it's June, you're like, man, this is gonna last forever. Summer lasts forever. Phoenix and Ferb, the show. That's what it feels like. Now it's not. That's what sucks, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I am an old cranky man, but I still don't get why schools start before Labor Day. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
Just started after Labor Day. Condense the school calendar, for crying out loud. You don't need 3 or 4 breaks.
Right.
I mean, when you're living it, man, and then guess what? When you're sitting because you started later, now you're sitting in the school during June when it's 1,000 degrees in there. That's not fun.
Well, that's all. Yeah, I'm just saying, do they have like a week off for spring break? That's become a big thing nowadays. They didn't have that back when I was in school. I mean,
you guys didn't have spring break?
We had Easter, we had Easter weekend. We didn't have spring break.
Okay.
No, heck no.
Yeah, I mean, the schools down here that go longer, they get, spring break's pretty standard.
Yeah, I know it is.
I didn't know you guys
were going away. It's not going to go away. I get that, but
yeah, they have a fall break. They have obviously Christmas break, and then they get a break in the summer. That's different than like summer vacation. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, anymore it's almost just go year round. It's almost easier just to do that.
Year round seems to be the way to go. I've been
Yeah.
hearing a lot more about that. That does kind of seem to be the way to go. You get longer breaks during the year. Yeah, you have a little bit shorter of a summer, but you still get, I think, 4 to 6 weeks off. It's like that's all you need. I think that I'm just preaching when I say I feel summer is over. When August hits, I just need to adopt the year-long school schedule. Then it would line up perfectly with my ideology.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've covered that topic. We talked a little bit about the Lions, so we'll talk some Lions in our sports portion of the podcast. We'll have a Tedertainment Tonight coming up, and maybe some more surprises right after these messages. All right, where do we want to start, fellas? We want to start with the Tigers, the Lions, anything big? I know that trade deadline, we're recording this on, what is this, Wednesday night, is it?
Yep, Wednesday night. Deadline is tomorrow. Anything can happen. I mean, what's been funny about the Tigers is, and this is, I sound like a Monday morning quarterback when I say this. 4 or 5 days ago, I saw Riley Green basically to try to change the mojo around, shaved his beard into a mustache, and ever since then, it's become almost like a rallying cry. They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah,
and it sounds stupid, but I think about and this is, I'm not an athlete, but I think about when I'm golfing. It's when I'm golfing bad, it's okay, let's swap the golf balls. Okay, let's maybe shotgun a beer, get the vibes going again. You do anything in these mental sports to try to gain an edge, to try to feel confident and get back in your swing of things like they were. And I honestly do think this shaving to a mustache of Riley Green has actually kind of helped them weather that storm that they were dealing with. Because man, it feels like since the last time we recorded, they lost 10 straight games. What did it end up being? 11 out of 13 or something like that?
11 out of 13, yeah.
I think the green mustache thing definitely is a mental factor for sure. And I also think, did you read the quotes from Tarek Skubal after, the Tigers blew the game, that he threw 6 or 7 great innings and they just blew that game. But he came out afterwards, said, "Hey, listen, just relax. We'll be all right." And when I read the quote, I thought, man, this dude, he's got more maturity than I would think anybody at that age would have. I mean, that with Green, and as you know, baseball is such a weird game of ebb and flows of momentum. They had that losing streak. I was really getting very concerned. And now on the 4-game winning streak, they seem to have shaken that stank, that they had going on there. So
yeah, I mean, he was away from the team for paternity reasons too.
Right.
He's about to have a kid, so I mean, that he has different perspective right now because he's going through that too. He's probably also thinking okay, yeah, we're losing games, but my wife's about to have a kid. There's bigger things in this world than losing some baseball games. So that's probably part of it. But yeah, I mean, after the All-Star break, they started 1-8 and they only scored 15 runs in those games. In this 4-game winning streak that you guys just talked about, they've scored 34 runs. Right. So their bats were just dead when they came back from the All-Star break, and the pitching wasn't very good either outside of Skubal. Right. So I mean, yeah, they went through a bad stretch, and we've said it a bunch of times on the podcast. I mean, they built that huge lead in the Central. They were the best team in baseball basically the whole first half of the year, and we were like, you just have to avoid that 10, 15 game stretch where you just tank. And that's what they did. Exactly. I mean, they were the worst. It's not hyperbole. They were the worst team in baseball during that stretch. Just could not score any runs. And they just fell down the standings. Luckily, they built that big lead in the Central because they're still up 7-8 games in the Central on the Guardians. So that's a good cushion. But so yeah, hopefully, they got a starting pitcher who won the start today, Paddock, and got a couple other guys, and we'll see what they do. Suarez, Eugenio Suarez, the dude from the Diamondbacks, apparently he's still on the table to come over to the Tigers, but I think it's probably going to take 3 or 4 of our best prospects to get him, and I don't know if people want to see that. But yeah, I'll be curious what they do because they're still there and they're still in first place in the Central. So it's
what are your thoughts on that? We've talked about it before. Would you give up 3 solid prospects for a half a year rental?
I don't know what I've said in the past. Maybe I said we should. I don't think so.
No.
It's baseball. It's such a weird. I mean, I even think about Aaron Judge last year. He disappeared in the World Series. It's there's no way to predict. You go get a Suarez. You go get whoever. You could have a hot and cold streak. To me, you got to trust what we're doing, which, I mean, Scott Harris, given the last 2-3 years, he's done a great job, building and I think drafting well. Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of his draft picks make to the majors, if any. But I think he's done a good job as a GM. I think AJ Hinch is a good manager. To me, you need to supply them with maybe another pitcher or two. Paddock was great today, which is a great sign in his first start since coming from the Twins. To me, you're not going to win the World Series with a Suarez move. It would have been nice to sign Bregman. Like, really, this comes back to just, man, if we could have just got goddamn Bregman in the offseason. We tried. It just couldn't happen. To me, I don't think there's a splash move to be had at this late. I wouldn't leverage our prospects. Like, for example, like I think I've said in the past, like, man, if I was the Pistons, I'd push all the chips in now because the East is open. It's like sometimes it's nice to have like some leverage and have options. We could always push him in next year with Scooble on his last year of his deal. Push all the chips in and make a big trade. We could do that this offseason. To me, I like where our team's at. We're the number one team in baseball. Maybe not at this current moment, but we've really played like it all year. Just roll with it. Make one more nice move. I like the two moves we made. Paddock having a good start today on basically arriving to the team like 24 hours ago. If he's solid, we can rely on him. And I don't know if you guys saw the Alex Cobb article. This was pretty mesmerizing to read from an MLB player. Basically, he's been battling injury and trying to come back this whole offseason. He basically said, like, the reason I'm pushing so hard and what will be my final year is what he said, is because, like, this team gave me a good deal. They trusted in me. Like, I want to perform for them. To me, I'm still kind of almost holding out hope this guy can come back and maybe make a play for us later on in the regular season and obviously in playoffs. Like, imagine that story. He comes back after battling this horrendous injury. We gave him a 1 year, $15 million deal. He comes in right before the playoffs start and has like a good stretch of 2-3 games, maybe even wins us a game in the playoffs. Like, that's like the comeback story of the year. Like, if he does that. So to me, don't push the chips in, get one reliever, get a starting pitcher. That'd be great. I'll take as many of those as we can get, but there's no big deal to be had. I don't think that's worth our while leveraging our future.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Obviously, I'm definitely not hitching the wagon to Alex Cobb. I mean, that was an odd signing to begin with. So I'm not hoping that he's the guy that comes in and wins the World Series. Suarez has 36 home runs, and so that's where you're trying to get. He strikes out a lot. He only hits like 250. So you're not getting prime Miguel Cabrera, but he's a home run hitter. I mean, he's going to hit 50, maybe approach 60 home runs this season, and no one on the Tigers is doing that. So that's what you're getting. You're getting a power hitter that you can put at cleanup, maybe even in the 3-hole, and you hope that, he does get 50, 60 home runs, but he strikes out a lot, so, you're also getting that. And especially if you have to give up 3-4 prospects. I mean, Dave Dombrowski, the guy who was running the Tigers, he definitely would do it. Right. He traded every prospect. He was all about getting David Price and, getting all these dudes at the deadline. But Scott Harris has a different approach. And, is it going to work out? I don't know. But the getting Paddock, I think, was good. He's not a worry. He's not going to win a Cy Young. He's nothing like that. But he's just a solid number 3 starter behind Scooble and hopefully Flaherty. And I know Casey Mize, not the biggest Casey Mize fan, but, Paddock is a good dude to put in the middle of that rotation, solid starter. And that's kind of what it seems like they're going to do.
You talked about Dombrowski, and that's more current. I go farther back where I still have nightmares from when the Tigers, at the time, it was rent-a pitcher Doyle Alexander. He pitched phenomenally for the Tigers in '87, but they gave up a prospect, and that prospect was John Smoltz, Hall of Famer.
Right. Exactly. That's why it's just tough, man. I mean, I know that's like the running joke with Pete Crow Armstrong, like with the Cubs. Like, that was basically Javi Baez at one point. They got moved from the Mets. Like, I think that's right. Hopefully that's right, guy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's like, you don't know. It's
right.
I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be upset if we made a big move. Like, I'd be cheering it on and I'd be excited about it. It's just I don't know. It's tough to find that right deal. And it would be weird if they ended up getting Suarez. Like, I was thinking about that today. It's like, man, we had Suarez in town with the GM, with the coach, with the manager, like, for 3 days. Like, if they couldn't figure out a way to crack a deal in those 3 days when they're sitting in the same room to get, like, basically the same ballpark together, like, how, like, it would be bizarre to me if they end up cracking a deal tomorrow. To me, that's why it's like I'm out of hope on Suarez.
And just the fact that he's a former Tiger. I mean, he started his career with the Tigers. So
I forgot all about that. Yeah.
Well, so let's look at how did this guy get traded off this team? Like, I should know that. It's like, watch, it was probably for some scrub reliever in 2015 or something. I don't know.
I forget. It wasn't a good return on investment. I remember that. No. It was one of those Al Avila deals that everyone looks back on and is like, wow, that was terrible. Suarez is one of the best power hitters in the game now. So, yeah, I'll be curious what they do. I mean, the deadline, is tomorrow, Thursday evening. I have a feeling there's going to be no splash moves for the Tigers. I mean, obviously we don't know by the time this post, who knows, maybe Suarez is on the Tigers, but
we'll see.
It just seems like Scott Harris is a play it safe type of guy. So,
well, the other factor,
they just got to stay the course, keep that, like we've said, keep that 6, 7, 8 game lead in the Central, and you'll be fine. Get to the playoffs healthy. I think they'll be all right.
That's the key, health right there. I mean, they got Kerry Carpenter back. He jacked one out today, I mean, when he's healthy and he can contribute on that left side. And then I also noticed, I don't know if it's going to be things that we're going to see the rest of the season, but Baez back in center field, that they were red hot when he was in center field early in the season. Keep him there for damn.
Yeah, he hasn't played there since June 4th, I believe was the date.
Right.
I was hoping he was going to like bang a home run, and then it's going to be like, you just got to be in center field. Like, I don't care if Parker Meadows has to play right field or left field or whatever.
Right.
But he didn't. He didn't have that great of a day. But still, I'm with you. I just think he's at his best in center field. There's something, we were just talking about the damn mustache, which is maybe the dumbest thing I ever said. But like, something about him being in center field seems to get the best out of him. So yeah. I'm with you. It's like, let's see a little bit more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, go Tigers. I mean, they finally got away from that losing streak and now keep this winning thing going. And we'll know more about if there was a trade made after this podcast drops. But, we are at that time of the season too, where football's about ready to begin tomorrow. Hall of Fame game, man. Detroit Lions in Canton, Ohio against Jim Harbaugh. I mean, yeah, it's all going to be the backups playing. Who cares, though? It's NFL football, and it's the Detroit Lions, and I'll be sitting in my brand new stereophonic recliners, and I am going to be enjoying it.
Yeah, what did I see? Brent Musburger is going to be on the call. He's going to be in the booth for NBC. He's coming back to do it. You're going to get to watch Hendon Hooker versus Taylor Heineke. Tee it up in NFL football. No, like you said, I mean, yeah, no, I'd be curious how, like I saw Ratledge isn't even going to play for the Lions. Obviously, Hutchinson's not going to play. Goff. And there's not going to be very many starters.
No.
Oh, well, it's football. It's back on. Get to see some of the young guys play and, maybe see what some of the backups look like for the Lions and Chargers. To get to see Jim Harbaugh out there coaching. That's always an adventure. Yeah. So it's NFL football. But everything, I don't know, training camp reports and videos are such a take it with a grain of salt type of thing. Cause like one report you see is like, just for example, JJ McCarthy is just dialed in and throwing darts all over the place. Mm-hmm. And then the next one you see is JJ McCarthy is struggling to read defenses in training camp. One report says Ben Johnson is already kicking guys out of practice and screaming at Caleb Williams. And the next one is Caleb Williams is going to be the best quarterback in the NFC North. It's kind of just hard. You want to eat up all this football content, but it's kind of hard to take anything seriously. The one thing that I do is all the reports is that Aiden Hutchinson looks better than he did before the injury. And I'm still going to be cautiously optimistic until he's playing real football, getting hit, getting blocked, getting chopped, everything. But I would rather see that than reporters saying, Hutch looks, slow, a little tentative, or he looks a little slow. I'm not sure. So I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. Cause I think that's one of the biggest keys to the Lions this year. They need Hutch back to what he was before he got hurt.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm with you. I've been seeing the same things that he's been having a hell of a camp. Like I saw something like, and you're right. Take it with a grain of salt. And it's funny because I think we're on the same like Twitter, like what's getting targeted at as JJ McCarthy stuff. I saw the same thing. It was like one day it was like, man, he's like 35 or 36 through the first week. Next day it's like he had 5 interceptions in one day. It's like it's hard to take what's true and what's not. Right. But Aiden Hutchinson's second in the Defensive Player of the Year odds, only behind Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons plus 600, Aiden Hutchinson's plus 700. I think it's a good bet, man. I think he's gonna play like a man possessed. I can't wait for it. To be honest with the preseason thing, I'm out on preseason. I've been out forever. Brent Musburger, I didn't even know that guy was still around. I saw the Brett Favre doc where it was about Jen Sturger and the Brett Favre weird incident. I'm like, man, Brett Musburger, like my biggest takeaway from this is Brett Musburger is like the horniest mother effer I've ever seen in my life. So the fact that he didn't get canceled way back when from any of that crap, man, I don't even know. But that's funny. He's back calling a game. Why not? Make it a freaking pointless preseason game. The only player I'm intrigued to watch is Tesla. if he's balling out in preseason for the Lions, like that's what I want to see. I want to see him making plays. You know, he's going to probably get a lot more reps than obviously any of our other top skill position guys. I hope not to see Jameer the entire preseason. Same thing with Montgomery. Same thing really with give Goff.
Don't need to.
None of them.
Don't need to.
No.
The only preseason story I can't wait to watch is Shadur Sanders with the Browns. I cannot wait to see how this quarterback situation in Cleveland plays out. That's what the preseason is for. It's for a guy like him, 6-rounder, like go out, ball out. I still remember Dak Prescott when he won the job from Tony Romo, like didn't throw an incompletion for like 2 or 3 preseason games. It was nuts. To me, it's all about Shadur. And from what I've been hearing, he's been lighting it up in camp. Again, take it with a grain of salt. But what really impressed me was Deion was telling a story, which I don't know what the hell's going on with Deion. Is he still coaching? Is he not? I couldn't even.
Yeah, he's coaching.
He's planning on coaching. Yeah.
Okay.
He had cancer and got it cleared up.
Took his bladder out.
Yeah. My God, he's got something new with his health every day, it seems like. But he basically said how he wanted to come to one of the training camp practices with Shadur, and Shadur said, like, don't come. Like, I got to, like, work. I got to, earn this job. Like, I don't need basically a circus act, like, here to track him. Like, I thought it was, like, that was pretty cool to hear. Like, he understands the situation he's in. Like, no, I got to do this on my own. Like, obviously, my teammates would probably love to see you. They probably have been talking about you the whole time in camp, but it's like, I got to do this on my own. So, that to me is the one story that I'm like, I actually want to watch the Cleveland Browns games because I want to see what he's going to do. Outside of that, just give me to week 1, man.
Yeah. I mean, in no way is it on the level of Shadur Sanders, but Hendon Hooker is a similar thing. He needs to win that backup job. So,
yeah,
he was supposed to be the guy they drafted in whatever round they drafted him in. He was supposed to be the guy that was going to be the backup, potentially the starter after Stafford and everything. And it's like, hey man, if you want to be the backup, here you go. This is your chance. Cause like you said, I bet Goff maybe gets a couple series, in the second preseason game, maybe.
That'll be it.
Right. So this is Hendon Hooker, man. Cause they signed Kyle Allen, who's a proven journeyman backup quarterback. So it's like, hey, Hendon Hooker, if you want to be the backup quarterback, go out there and do like what you just said Dak did.
Well, he better. He should see the writing on the wall when they brought Bridgewater in last.
I didn't need to see anything else, man. Like even if he lit it up in preseason, like when the chips were down, the game's on the line, the season's on the line, they'd rather turn to a guy who was on the goddamn high school sidelines buying kid Uber rides. And this guy's been in the program for 3 years, like sitting and waiting and learning. Like that was jarring.
Yeah,
that was, and it's been ignored and. Ideally, he does light it up, and then maybe we trade him, or he's always waiting in the wings if Goff gets hurt. But it's like, man, I'm out on him.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, the exhibition game doesn't mean anything, but as we've talked about before, health. They got to stay healthy, and they do have just a brutal schedule. If they can just make it to the playoffs, like we've talked about, I think make it to the playoffs and be healthy. Doesn't matter what the record is. They can be a dangerous team.
Yeah, I mean, health is a big thing. They were the number 1 seed, 15-2 last year with basically 2 opening day starters left on defense, by the time the playoffs rolled around. I mean, it was a grab bag of guys on the defensive side of the ball for the Lions last year. So, and they still went 15-2 and had the first round bye in the playoffs. So I think the North is going to be much better. The Packers are going to be better in theory, Ben Johnson with the Bears. It seems like they're going to be good, JJ McCarthy with, what's he going to be as his first year as a starter in Minnesota. I think the North still goes through Detroit though. I would think that most people would say they're still the favorites, and then we'll see what these other 3 teams do. But their schedule is definitely brutal. A lot more road games, a lot more outdoor games, a lot more prime time. Not very many 1:00 games like we said a few weeks ago when the schedule was released. So.
Out of the North, you think the Packers probably the biggest test?
It depends, man. That's what's so fun about it. That's why honestly the game I'm looking forward to more than Lions week 1 is Bears versus Vikings. You're going to get first look at McCarthy. You're going to see what this whole Bears situation is with Ben Johnson and obviously Colston Loveland added to that offense. Like I think that's going to tell us a lot with the NFC North is that one game. Obviously, it's kind of easy to say that, but I think it's going to be one of those 2 teams. Whoever wins that game, honestly, like I think I'm more scared of them than the Packers, to be honest. We own the Packers, it feels like. I'm not worried about them. Okay. We exercised the demons with Rodgers way back when. We haven't worried about them since.
Right. Did you guys see what Graham Glasgow said about Ben Johnson?
No.
A
What
little
he
salty, wasn't it?
No, he was on one of the shows on 97.1 The Ticket, and they asked him, what do you think about Ben Johnson? And he just said, uppity. And it's like, oh man, that's shots fired. You already got your offensive lineman taking shots at the Bears' new head coach. I mean, he might have kind of been joking, of course.
I think what it is that JMO play in that Commanders game where he just launched it to the defenders for God knows why we're running this play to JMO. I think that rubbed a lot of players and coaches in that locker room the wrong way. Like, dude, enough of the bullshit. You already got a foot out. Like, you're gone. Like, I don't know. That's just me being kind of funny, but to me, how do you get past that goddamn play, man?
Yeah. I saw some people saying Ben Johnson was in his bag during that game. It was all Jared Goff that lost it. And it's like, I don't know what game you were watching, but Ben Johnson made some very questionable calls. Goff didn't play his best game.
No.
But Ben Johnson made some questionable calls. You talk about wanting to watch guys in the preseason. I know one thing that caught all of our eyes this week was Steelers' new linebacker, Jack Sawyer, who played at Ohio State. He came out and said, I mean, I'm not quoting him verbatim, but he basically said, like, they asked him about the Michigan game, you know, being 0-4 against Michigan in his career at Ohio State. And he was like, he said something like, yeah.
You want me to give you the quote real quick? I got it.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Sawyer interrupted. I think they beat us straight up last year, obviously, and the year before. But my sophomore year, which would have been CJ Stroud's last year at Ohio State.
Yeah, 2020.
My sophomore year, we left the field and we were like, this feels weird. We lost by double digits and it felt like we had beat the shit out of them all game. You know, we ran a screen pass that we had never put in, not the formation, not the look, anything. And like you see them on the sideline, they're doing the signals. We change it, we audible to it or whatever. And when we run it, all the defensive linemen, as soon as the ball is snapped, the linebackers, everybody, they snipped it out. I mean, go ahead and take it from there. But like, what is this guy talking about?
So basically, that was 2022, the game that he's talking about. The game where Blake Corum was hurt in Columbus and Donovan Edwards ran absolutely berserk all over him, 250 yards rushing or whatever. And yeah, Michigan beat him by 22 points. So if you're saying that, you know, you felt like you beat the shit out of him the whole game, but you lost 22 points, I don't know how you think that's the case. And he's obviously alluding to the Connor Stallions, the signs thing or whatever. Connor Stallions replied on Twitter, posted a long quote tweet, and basically said, yeah, that screenplay you're talking about, you guys use the same signs that you use for everything else. This is basic sign stealing stuff. We're not talking about scandal and stuff like that. He's like, you use this sign, you use this sign. We had scouted this the whole time. So yeah, we sniffed out everything you guys did that game. And Donovan Edwards and McCarthy had a hell of a game that day too. So it's just, and I even saw some people, you know, like Buckeyes people on Twitter also basically saying like, Sawyer, you just kind of sound like a sore loser. You know, I don't know if you can call signs and say that's the reason we lost that game, but
no,
it's just, he was 0-4 against Michigan in his career, basically had one interception and one sack. I mean, he didn't really do anything.
Nope.
He's a funny character in the rivalry. I'm always going to remember him. Like, I still kind of like Jack Sawyer. It was like
he's one of those guys. If he was on Michigan, we'd probably love him. He's one of those kind of players.
It was just hilarious, the back and forth. The Mason, like, he's getting pot shots in at Mason Graham's getting pot shots back. I was just like, I can respect both sides of this. Like, and we talked about it ad nauseum, but like, man, when they planted the flag, like, I kind of understood both sides. Like, if I was a Ohio State player, would I have been running out there making a mockery of it, like ripping the flag down and all that? No, but can I kind of understand like where they were coming from? Like, you might beat us. You're not planting the goddamn flag on our field. I always thought that was funny. But the thing with the Jack Sawyer thing is like, what's funny is whether we knew the signals or not, like it's stupid how they use a screenplay. And I think CJ Stroud said a similar thing a couple years ago. We had the best defensive line in the country. It's like they're first rounders galore. Like, you don't think they can sniff out a screenplay? Like, that to me is the ultimate test of a smart offensive lineman versus just a complete buffoon idiot who can throw around weights. Like, can you recognize a screenplay? Like, there's usually a running joke with Corona. Like, this is how I'd kind of mock, or we'd like mock our linemen sometimes, like, because we kind of sucked. Is like, you guys haven't gotten through to the quarterback all goddamn game. And you think that all of a sudden you just all broke through free and now you're going to get a free sack on the quarterback? It's like, no, it's a screenplay. So I just thought it was weird that it's like a screenplay, whether you know the formation or not, like you can sniff it out if you have a brain. Right. Like that's not that. And then, like you said, Connor Stallions just came over the top and said, like, dude, look on YouTube. Like, we have all these plays, and you guys signaled in as whatever, Y delay, which is pretty obviously, tight end screen. So it is what it is. It's a great rivalry. You talk about a game I can't wait for. It's Michigan, Ohio State. That's
at the big house.
One game I think in all of college football next year, no matter the record, no matter anything going into it.
Well, yeah, now I mean you can definitely say no matter the record because of what happened last year.
Right.
One of Michigan's worst teams in the last 20 years or whatever beat the eventual national champion Ohio State team. So it's just hilarious. And
that's the only time in my life there's ever been the phrase "throw the record books out the window." That's the only time that's ever actually like been true. I feel like it's right with the rivalry games. You got to throw the record books out, man. But that's the first time it actually came to fruition.
Now, have you come around now, Jared? Are you seeing it more Michigan, Ohio State instead of Michigan State?
That's a good point. Yeah, I would actually agree. I would say so. I mean, well, what sucked is Michigan State's gone into a lull.
Right.
If Michigan State beat us this year, believe me, you're going to forget about Ohio State for a week. It's like, God damn, that burns. And it's still, it still burns when you lose to Michigan State. It burns unlike anything else, man. So I don't know. Like it's easy for me to say that now because we've been owning them, and it seems like we have the upper hand like big time. But man, if they shocked us this year, like and we were undefeated, and they shock us, like you're not going to get over that. So no,
right.
I see both both great rivalries. Got to appreciate them both for different reasons.
I agree with that. All right, got any more sports we need to talk about, or we want to take a break and come back with some Tedertainment?
Ready for
Happy
football,
Gilmore review.
I can't wait for the Happy Gilmore review. If you guys, I don't remember if we were, you guys liked it. I didn't like it, so I'll be curious what this review sounds like.
Well, we'll see. We'll come back after this break and we'll hash it out. All right, Jared, go ahead. Usually I start these things off, but you kind of teased it. Happy Gilmore.
I talk a lot. Why don't you go? Like I talk for like 5 minutes. So why don't you give your review and then I'll go?
My review is it was pretty much what I expected. First of all, I thought they did a pretty good job early on, kind of setting the stage. On 30 years later, it's pretty tough to make a sequel and make it be relevant. But I thought they did a pretty good job with it. Some of the other things I liked on it, I thought it was pretty clever the way they dealt with his wife. Number one, I won't spoil it for anybody that maybe is looking forward to watching it. I thought the addition of the PGA players was kind of cool. I mean, they definitely don't want to give up their golfing career for acting careers, but it was okay. Some of the other cameos in the thing and some of the other new stars was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was at times kind of cringeworthy. It was, but overall, I thought for a Netflix movie, a little bit at times. Some of the jokes were a little stale. But overall, you know what you're going to get with Adam Sandler. You know what you're going to get with Happy Gilmore. For a Netflix movie, an hour and 14 minutes, it wasn't bad. I thought, I would give it probably a 2.4 from my review.
Fair enough.
That's my thing. It's probably more in my wheelhouse, my generation. Because I mean, Happy Gilmore. I know you watched it when it came out, Ted, but you were a little older.
Yeah.
That Adam Sandler era when he was putting out Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, and then the run for the next 5, 6, 10 years. I mean, that was when I was middle school through high school. So, I mean, the nostalgia for us was incredible. And the biggest thing to me, I don't understand the hate that the movie is getting. It's almost more laughable to me, the people that are hating on it, because it's like, what did you expect when you were going into this movie? One, it's Adam Sandler. What have his movies been recently? These straight to Netflix movies, they're just goofy nostalgia, him and his buddies making ridiculous movies, especially something like this where they're revisiting Happy Gilmore that was done 30 years ago. It's like people thought they were going to go in and get like Inception or something or Dark Knight Rises with Happy Gilmore too, and they're so mad about it. I saw people posting videos like 20 minutes into this movie and I'm already turning it off. It's like, well, that's your fault because you set your bar up this high with Happy Gilmore too. So it's like you went to Taco Bell thinking that you were going to get a 5-star restaurant and you're mad that Taco Bell gave you diarrhea. I mean, yeah, you spent $2 on a taco and it gave you diarrhea. Yeah, that because you went to Taco Bell. That's what this was. It's nostalgia. It's Adam Sandler, 75 cameos. I actually thought it was pretty good for what it is. the professional golfers, current and past, that were in it. Xander Schauffele, I thought was funny. Rory, DeChambeau, Scotty Scheffler, and going to jail and stuff. I'm not sitting there saying I was like rolling on the ground laughing, but I thought it was like funny. I thought it was like goofy, dumb. Eminem's cameo. Kelsey Plum was in it from the WNBA, and some big podcast people were in it, so like Stephen A. Smith shows up, of course, Dan Patrick was in it.
Patrick was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, Dan Patrick was good.
His name was, what was it, Pat, his name was like a riff on his name. What the hell was his name? I wrote it.
He had the mustache.
It was just his name. His name was Pat Daniels. I just thought it was
Pat Daniels. So it was like Dan Patrick, right? So yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, no, was it as good or funny as Happy Gilmore 1? Well, no, of course not. But I mean, it broke, it didn't break records for Netflix, but it was like one of the top 50 million people watched it or something. It was one of the Netflix original top watched, weekend opening movies ever. Obviously part of that is because it was Happy Gilmore 2. So no, again, it's not something I'll probably watch again, maybe ever, or maybe for a long time, but for the people who grew up watching those movies, Happy Gilmore 2, I think Adam Sandler's funny. I like his movies. I was thoroughly entertained for that hour and 14 minutes, and there's no way I would be upset with. I'm already paying for Netflix. What am I going to be mad about? It's not like I went out to the movies and spent $50 to go watch it. Turn it on, hour 14 minutes done. I also thought it was cool the end of the movie. I mean, spoiler alert, whatever. But the scene where his car died or whatever, and he walks off. That was an homage to Chris Farley at the end of Tommy Boy when his dad passed away. There's a scene of him at the cemetery. He's walking down the road after Tommy's dad passes away. So that was kind of an homage to his buddy, Chris Farley. So that's what I appreciate out of Adam Sandler movies. The loyalty to his friends, the loyalty to the jokes, just being goofy, having fun, not taking it too seriously, and then you have the connections with like the cool flashbacks to Happy Gilmore 1. I thought was fun.
That was pretty well done.
The one thing I would say was a little bit, I'm not going to use the word cringeworthy, but was a little bit like, was the way that he killed his wife. Like he hit a drive and clunked her in the head. That was the one thing I was like, really, that you couldn't have like, maybe he wanted it to be goofy, but that was the one thing I was like, yeah, I maybe would have thought of something else, but
he is like, and I love, like, Adam Sandler is probably the number one person I'd say, hey, I want to golf with you. I want to be your friend. Like, he's awesome. He doesn't care what I think. I was waiting for this movie for 2-3 years. Second they announced it was coming. First it was teased way back when. Then they weren't doing it. Now they're doing it. To me, this was just like the lazy way of doing this movie. Now, no real plot. It was watching Jack and Jill. It was like, you think about what makes Happy Gilmore great, what makes Dumb and Dumber great, and what makes Dumb and Dumber 2 the worst movie you've ever seen in your life. Like, it was somewhat rooted in reality. Like Happy Gilmore, the one thing you got to look past, okay, this guy could drive the ball 500 yards or whatever it was. Other than that, it's like kind of realistic how it plays out. And that's what makes the absurdity moments funny. When the movie is just totally absurd, like, I don't even know how to view it funny. Like, I did enjoy it. I was in the right mindset. Once you knew about the cameos and, you see a few of the first reviews, like, you knew what this was. It was going to be Jack and Jill-ish. And I accepted that. First hour, I actually kind of pretty much enjoyed. I was like, I actually like this. I think people are being a little too hard on it. The last hour with the live golf match with Haley Joel Osment, who was kind of a funny character at first, the Billy Jenkins character. Like, he's kind of funny, just how he looks, because he's like my size. But the villain, Benny Safdie, who directed Uncut Gems, like, the two villains were horrible. The whole last hour of this movie was horrible, of this tournament where they're like racing on our ATVs. It just, we lost the plot of Happy Gilmore, and I still enjoyed it. And there's good moments, and I actually really like the cameos. I thought it was like kind of cool. It's like you're waiting who's coming next. Like Bad Bunny was awesome. He really wasn't even a cameo. He was just a funny actor in the movie. He was Happy Gilmore's caddy. Like, he was great. Right. Like you said, Matt, the Scotty Scheffler jail gag was great. Will Zalatoris as the caddy, that was maybe a little overdone. That was a funny 30-second thing. If I'm recutting this movie, was I'm in the tour now, Mr. Gilmore. Like, I'm a golfer now. I thought that was kind of a funny thing. Travis Kelce was good, but to me, man, it just was a letdown. I get, like, it was almost like an homage to Happy Gilmore, but it's like, man, I feel like there's enough plot points here where you could have made a good sequel. maybe Shooter McGavin's his coach. You know, this is Rocky style, Rocky 3, I think that is, where Apollo coaches. Maybe that could have been the plot. I don't know. The killing of Julie Bowen right off the rip. It's like she's like maybe the only actress outside of Adam Sandler from this movie way back when that's actually had like a career. Like, let's use her a little bit more. It missed in so many ways to me. Yes, it had funny moments. Will I ever watch it again? No. And that's the thing. I've watched Happy Gilmore 3 million times. And obviously it was never going to be Happy Gilmore. But my God, can it be a movie that makes any sort of sense? Doesn't feel like I'm like tripping on acid to watch. Like, it just was bad. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. It was free. I agree. It's like, I can't really hate on it too much, but it just was bad. It just was bad.
Well, you said the first hour was pretty good.
I guess, like, because I was viewing it,
only
like
14 more minutes of bad
going into it. I didn't even finish the movie, man. It sounds like a touching tribute to Farley at the end. I left like as soon as this tournament really got underway at the end. Like, what even is this? This is like watching a video game. One thing with Netflix movies, they all look horrible. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not a smart enough film nerd or cinematographer, but it's like, what is up with the weird look of all these movies that look like I shot it on like my iPhone and put like a video effect on it? It's like it almost takes you out of it right away. It just the product placement was everywhere in this goddamn movie. Yeah. Again, I love Sandler, so it's like I'm not even upset with him. Like, dude, do it. You gave us Happy Gilmore 2, which for an hour and like 5 minutes, it entertained me. But like, my God, like, am I crazy? Like, there's enough meat on this bone. He was just starting his career in Happy Gilmore 1. He's got Julie Bowen. Like, could they have gotten divorced during the movie and then he wins her back at the end? Could Shooter McGavin come back and play against him, or could Shooter McGavin be his coach? Could, I don't know, Chubbs Peterson's son come and play him and think that he's like mad at Happy Gilmore, thinks he killed Chubbs? Like, there just was a lot more they could have done than wheeling out Haley Joel Osment to be this Billy Jenkins dumbass character. It lost me, man.
The little guy being like the villain, that was, I thought they could have done a little more. And then basically the LIV or the, what's the league that Tiger Woods runs? No,
like the indoor one you're saying?
Yeah, the indoor one. I took it as like almost making fun of that league.
Kind of did, yeah.
Maybe that was a little extreme. They're riding around on golf carts from hole to hole and stuff. I just took it as it was goofy. It was almost like making fun of these other golf leagues. And I took it as like maybe Happy Gilmore was the outsider coming into golf, and now he's saving traditional golf.
Yeah, it's not I don't hate the live idea. It wasn't even live. It was like paintball. It wasn't even golf. It was, I don't even know. It was like watching a made up movie. That was my problem. It lost all sort of reality.
Yeah.
To me, the
TGI.
I don't want to call Sandler because I love Sandler, and he'd be like, dude, like this was an interesting something I'd never seen before, just in terms of the cameos. That was something I'd never seen. That was cool. Waiting, seeing who was coming next.
Right.
I just would have liked to have given this, like, maybe Adam Sandler doesn't direct it. Maybe he doesn't write it. Like, let's really have somebody, one who has an eye for golf. Like, that's one thing I can't stand in movies, and Bill Simmons has had this rant before. It's like, how do they not hire somebody to just say, that's not like how it would go? Like, one of the first lines Happy Gilmore says is to his cat, he's like, give me my wedge. Nobody ever says that. Like, give me my 56 degree. Give me my 60 degree. Give me my gap wedge. Like, how does just something as small as that is a good microcosm for this damn movie that just, it felt like it was just almost slapped together.
I mean,
if there was no cameos, would this be the worst thing you ever watched? If they didn't have the cameo part and it was just that same exact movie just with regular actors, you'd be like, this is like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. The worst script, everything.
I mean, the counter to that would be there's no golfer on PGA like Happy Gilmore who's hitting a drive, running 10 steps back, beating up Bob Barker.
Somewhat, but even like in that movie, you think about it's like, well, like they're not gonna kick him off the tour because like their ratings are better than ever. Like the gold jacket playing off the Augusta, you could tell whoever made Happy Gilmore 1, who helped Adam Sandler, maybe he just gave up the keys. What's funny, the guy who directed Happy Gilmore 2, Carl from Workaholics, the guy doesn't know a shred about golf. And I'm not saying it had to be like, freaking Tin Cup over again or something, but like, why did they get away from golf? It turned too wonky. And maybe that's the whole point of it. To me,
I mean, again, to be fair, Happy Gilmore 1, he wins the tournament. after the tower falls on the green and he hits a putt going
Yeah.
dink.
Listen,
dunk,
I can't describe
dink,
it.
dunk,
You've seen,
dink,
you guys have
know,
seen
like-
both movies. One of them is the dumbest effing movie all time, and the other one's like a classic. There's enough realism to it. Like same thing with Dumb and Dumber. No, are these guys, is he trading a van for a moped? Like no, nobody's that dumb. But like there's enough real situations around it that you can kind of suspend disbelief for a second. I'm not saying that it's like realistic. It's not, but it's set in a realistic world. This was a world where he's beating guys up and throwing them in a lobster tank, and like this is like a cartoon world. This is like he's Tom and Jerry, whereas Happy Gilmore was, kind of a cartoony character set in a real world.
He also, in Happy Gilmore 1, he also wrestled a crocodile and pulled his golf ball out of a crocodile's mouth.
I know, I get it's not. No, I know, but I mean, watch those two movies and it's like there's nothing to even compare. One is like, yeah, there's a fun of those, but when there's only a few of those moments, it makes it funny, and you don't care. Like I don't care. That doesn't mean it's a dumb movie, but when it's every moment is a crocodile fighting moment, then those crocodile fighting moments have no punch. It's just white noise of shittiness is really how I describe it.
Well, this is an Academy Award type of review we're doing here. That's for sure for Happy Gilmore.
I just can't believe you guys liked it. Like I don't know. I'm not saying it's like I obviously I get like appreciating it and like there's some cool parts to it like cameos, but like how can you just flatly say it's a good movie? Like it's concerning to
I don't know.
Looking at you. It's concerning.
It had its moments, and listen, 50 million people watched it first weekend. 50 million people.
So much hype. I've been counting on the calendar for 3 years for this thing, man.
Rotten Tomatoes didn't give it the worst rating either.
I'll stand on the beach by myself, man, fighting that this movie was horrible.
I mean,
if I'm the only one there, then so be it. I'm telling you, man, this movie was horrible.
I think, to be fair, I don't think we're saying that this is 3.3 on the three or 3 out of 3 on the 3-point podcast scale, or should be up for every Academy Award and all that. I don't think we're going that far. I think we're saying for what it was, straight to Netflix, Adam Sandler nostalgia. It was hour and 14 minutes of some funny entertainment.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was wasted time.
Right.
No, but you'll never watch it again, which is kind of sad when you think about it. It's Happy Gilmore 2. This isn't some random ass Hubie Halloween movie. You're almost grading it like same you'd grade like Hubie Halloween, which is kind of
funny. See, that's the thing too. I enjoyed
Happy Gilmore 2. I was
gonna say
I enjoyed Hubie Halloween. I enjoyed that one.
I know, but it's even Hubie Halloween's better than Happy Gilmore 2. I'm not even gonna lie about that. This is a primo movie. This would have done numbies at the box office.
Yeah,
I mean, it did pretty good.
Should have been done right. There was 2 ways to do it. And Adam Sandler's the man. So I feel bad even saying, but there was the way where we really put some time and thought and really let's make this a good movie. And then there was that. It's still worth watching. It still had some good laughs, but it's not how I would have done it. Easy for me to say on my couch, but like it just was depressing, man.
Well,
it just depressed me. That's all.
That's the beauty of this podcast. We have our opinions and we know where you stand on this. That's fair. That's fair. Some of your points you brought up, fair points, no question.
Am I wrong that like why did we have to really dive in off the deep end with this damn tournament? Like just make it a golf tournament, man.
I tend to agree with you on that part. That was pretty wanky.
Yeah, they went a little goofy with the other league, but I think that was maybe part of the point. Is if Happy Gilmore doesn't come back and play, then the traditional golf is going to be lost. That's the goofy storyline.
Couldn't they have achieved it though, like in a funnier way, like where it's like if Happy Gilmore like comes back in golfing and like they got music playing or like I almost feel like I need to like spend 3 weeks and like write out like what I think the script and like what the plot points should have been. It's like the live point is hilarious, and you're right. It's exactly what they're going for. Is like now he's like he's like you said, he's the traditionalist.
Right.
And like it just would have been like there was a funny way to do that with the Live League without it involving them riding ATV quads and putting on a weeble wobble table. Like I mean, like just be real. Like it just killed me, man. It killed me. And I did enjoy it. I watched it. I had a few belly laughs that I like one part that was very funny to me was like all of his kids, how they all had like the short temper. Like that was freaking hilarious. The montage where they're all humping like the cone, just like he did in the original movie, like that's all good stuff. It just left a little to be desired in my opinion. That's not my type of humor. It's almost like Adam Sandler's humor is like changed over the years, where now it's like this slapstick, like just absurdist comedy, whereas like I prefer the 51st Dates type comedy, man, where it's like, you know, got some heart, like it's actually a good movie. Just go with it. Great flick that has a little bit of a soul to it. This was like soulless in a way.
I mean, people change, you know, musicians. Ted, you could say you've probably seen bands that are different at the beginning of their careers than when now they're rich and famous 20, 30 years into their career. Eminem, his first 2 albums, very different than the music he puts out now.
Oh yeah.
Adam Sandler, he's not a 20-year-old dude trying to make it on SNL. You know what I mean? He's He's rich, famous. He's just like his daughter is in the movie, and there was a couple.
She was pretty good. Like they're good. She's gonna be a big
daughter.
actress. Like I think, in my opinion, like yeah, I think so. She's been in a couple of his flicks now. It's like I think she will be like a big actress at some point. I mean, she's got a good runway to roll with. Like make the most of it
for sure.
And that's what I mean. Like I feel like a jerk, like ripping it so hard. I did enjoy it. I thought the cameos were cool, but man, it's Happy Gilmore too, man. And we're categorizing it in the Hubie Halloweens of the world. Like, think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying. This movie we've been waiting for 3 or 4 years. It was just a Hubie Halloween. Like, are we kidding me? I waited 4 years for Hubie Halloween, and I just thought it was gonna be better.
2.4, man. What do you got, Matt?
I was gonna go like 2.6. I'm not going all the way up to 3 out of 3, but
what do you got, Jared?
Again, for what it was.
Right.
Again, yeah, it was like. Maybe I'll give it another watch tonight just to almost like snicker to myself and get pissed about it all over again. And there was funny moments. I like the one thing that was kind of funny, and they overdid it. But like when you first are introduced to Shooter McGavin, and he's like, it is like, his like mind's like blown like by Happy Gilmore with like that was kind of funny. Like as I think about it, but
I think what it is, Ted, what it is because you and I started it off saying we liked it.
Right.
Jared hated that. So he had to go full contrarian the other way.
Yeah, I did a 360 mid-movie. I was texting my buddies like, hey, this is pretty funny, man. Like, I'm getting a kick out of this. Like, I'm going to enjoy this. Like, I'm going to eat my pizza, and I'm going to enjoy this. I had a whole thing planned with it. Then by about an hour in, and we're doing this live, you know, Benny Safdie, like, horrible villain. Like, yeah. That was it. It just the first half of the movie, I was like, it was kind of a good blend, and then it kind of lost the plot. But
well, for any listeners out there who are either listening or watching on YouTube, and if they've stuck through this review, I don't think this helped. I don't think this helped at all. If they should actually watch the movie or not. People have stuck here for 20 minutes listening to this and are like, I don't know if this movie is good or not, because
I guess watch it's just the movie and send us the comments. Where you put your faith in. It's where you put your faith in, I guess, in me or in you guys. I mean, Ted is the movie guy. To be fair, he also liked the Pop-Tart movie.
Yes, I did.
So
you can't even use me as the movie guy. Yeah, I like movies, but it doesn't mean that everybody agrees with my thoughts.
That's like, and that's why I appreciate it. I'm glad that we actually had different opinions. It would have been boring if we all were ripping it.
That's all part of it. People like what they like. And the other big one that I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have watched, but I mean, it's all over social media, TikTok and, you know, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, is the Netflix documentary, Amy Bradley is missing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Have either of you watched that one?
So, I'm a weird guy where I haven't seen it, but I've heard podcasts about it. So
you basically know everything about it now.
Right? A decent amount, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Ted, have you heard anything about this chick, Amy Bradley? She went missing on a cruise ship. Have you ever?
No.
So it happened in the late 90s.
Right.
I mean, this isn't spoiler alert anything because it obviously happened a long time ago.
30 years. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, her and her family went on a cruise. She basically just vanished, went missing, and she is still missing. And so they're trying to figure out it. She has a brother, parents, and a brother, and then a sister. So a family of 4. Right. And she was on the cruise, and next thing you know, they woke up one morning and she was gone. And there's obviously hundreds of conspiracy theories. You know, the FBI got involved. They stopped on the cruise at Curacao, the island of Curacao, and Scientology comes into play. They think there's a Scientology link. They don't know if she fell off the balcony. They don't know if she got trafficked, by some people, or if she jumped, whatever. So the documentary dives into all of that. They interview the parents and the brother and some of the people
like
that
the
were
captain or like the cruise captain, right?
Yeah, the cruise
kind of a funny character.
Yeah, the cruise director and some of the other people. So, yeah, it's a pretty crazy case that obviously is still open,
Yeah, it never got
and it's
solved.
one of those that especially now that because Hulu did a documentary too. The Netflix one is the one that's really taken off, but obviously now there's people who have been following these. People love their true crime. I mean, we talk
Right.
about it on this podcast a lot. So people are diving in. People have whole social media accounts dedicated to finding Amy Bradley, and
People claim they've seen her. Like,
right. People claim they've seen her and talked to her, and so it's one of those that's pretty crazy. Like,
well, give me a bullet point or two, because when you talk about a woman that comes missing on a boat like that, a ship, first thing you would think is she fell off or jumped off, and that's end of story. But there must be more to it than that.
So yeah, there's basically what happened is her and her brother were out partying. Parents went back to their cabin, went to bed. Her and her brother were out drinking, partying. They're 20, 23 years old around that at the time.
Right.
And they come back to the room. Dad, brother, they're out on the balcony. They're still drinking, smoking, whatever, hanging out. Brother comes in, goes to bed. Dad wakes up at 5:30. Just happens to look out, looks out at the balcony, sees her out there. So that's, the recollection. 5:30 a.m. She's there.
Okay.
Something happens. He wakes up at 6 a.m., looks out there. She's gone. And he starts. So that's when he gets up, he looks, not there.
had kind of a feeling like, yeah, where is she? Type
has a feeling of like, where'd she go? He starts walking around the cruise ship. Can't find her. He starts, alerting some of the security or, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we'll start looking for her. And this is in the, 6 a.m. and they're docking at Curacao, the island. So people are now starting to get off. The cruise director, like Jared said, they interviewed in the documentary. He was a weird character. So people are thinking that he's a suspect.
He said, like, my understanding, he's like, dude, like people go missing all the time. Like, I can't. Basically, he was saying like, I can't stop the ship, and like we'd be stopping every 2 seconds. Am I misunderstanding?
The parents were basically like, you cannot, when they docked, they were like, you cannot let people off this ship, because if they took her, they're going to take her off this ship. They were saying like, you have to stop this, look everywhere. And the cruise director was like, no, I can't do this. People go missing all the time. We got to let everyone, paying customers, so you can see both sides. The parents obviously are like, no, we got to find her. The cruise director's like, no, we'll look for her and stuff, but we've got 6,000 other customers on this ship that we got to, let them do what they got to do.
Wow.
So one theory is she was out there and jumped and, or fell, whatever. Another theory is, she had a connection with a band member on the cruise ship who has all these other, a slew of other allegations of being involved in sex trafficking and child trafficking and stuff like that. And they think that she linked up with him and he took her off the island, got her into that whole situation.
Because what they say,
so it's just insane.
Didn't they say, like, basically, like, hey, like, they were so close to port in Curacao, like, if she would have jumped, like, she would have washed ashore. Would have washed ashore. Never did. It's a wild story, man. I haven't seen the doc. It's funny because, like, we were talking about that at the campfire this past weekend. That was probably 30 minutes. Somebody was telling us about that. And it's a riveting story, man. It's, what the hell? What do you think happened to her, Matt? What would you say?
That's what I mean. At first, I was like, as simple as, I think she fell off. She was drunk, and there's some stuff that she was going through with her family, with her sexual orientation, and there's all these other layers.
Maybe why she would have ran away, or maybe killed herself. One of the two.
There's all these other layers to it that people are trying to connect the dots and everything. So at first I went into it thinking, I think she just fell off or jumped. We like one or the other. Either she was had some demons and she jumped, or maybe she fell. I was like, it's that simple. She just fell off. It's that simple. But then when you start going through, like, people saw her at 6 a.m. going up this elevator. This is spoiling for you, Ted, but
no, it's all right. Still be good.
Yeah. People see they see her, and, they see her with this dude who is, a suspect. And then all of a sudden she's gone, and then they see him later. And there's all these reports of people saw her on the island, and people have seen her.
Wasn't there something like a sex trafficking site, like, or something?
Yeah, people saw pictures of her on the site.
What was the story with that? Didn't somebody think it was her?
There's like some pictures on the sex trafficking site that people are like 99.9% sure is her. But it could be altered, or it could just be somebody that really looks like her.
But
the brother thinks that
thing, man. That's what, like, to me, it's like, this story would make a lot more sense if it's like, oh, she was down drinking, never came
Right.
back, like never saw her. But
Right.
like daylight, sun's rising, like 6 a.m. This is when this all went down. Like it's just
Crazy.
probably
And
maybe not that drunk anymore. I would think like it probably wore
Right.
off a decent amount. They've been serving booze for 3 hours. That's just what doesn't add up to me. Is if it
Right.
was trafficking, what a bizarre way for that to go down.
Yeah. And, you know, it's back in the time, like 98, there's not cameras everywhere. There were
Right.
some cameras, but, you know, nowadays there's cameras everywhere. I mean, there's no way she would be lost. There's weird stuff like the family. There's a lot of weird stuff with the family too. Like they get to the island and then they just got back on the boat and left and then even flew back. They were from Boston or something like that, or Virginia. They flew
What a
back to
hell
Virginia and
cruise.
people are like, how do you leave the island?
Right.
If you think that your daughter got taken on that island, how, at least the dad or at least the bro, how doesn't
don't know
one of
what
you
you do,
stay
man.
back on the island? You know, you don't know what's going through their minds. So there's a lot of weird stuff with that. People think the brother was up to something, that maybe the brother pushed her off or something. You know, there's some other, so
Wow.
yeah, there's just layers and layers, and it's obviously it's sad, of course, but
Yeah.
So
it's
how many
wild.
parts is it?
it's a
4
3-part,
parts?
like
3
45-minute episodes, 3 parts. So
Okay. We'll definitely check that out. I love
Yeah.
those things. And would you say, as far as the documentary goes, it was pretty well put together?
oh yeah, I mean, I think it's well put together. They have the interviews with the family.
Mhm.
They don't have interviews with a couple of the suspects that would have really been
Right.
good. You know, people, you know, documentaries, they are what they are. It
Yeah.
seems a little slanted towards
What do they want you to
the-
believe?
clearing
That she
the
got
yeah.
trafficked?
They want, I think they want you to believe she did,
Right.
but they don't want you to think that the family was involved at all.
Right.
And
Right.
some people are like, this was clearly the family put this together to clear their name. You know what I mean? That they had no wrongdoing. So, you know, who knows? But that's how documentaries are. Documentaries are always trying to
Cruises are
lead
kind
you
of
one
terrifying
way.
in that
Yeah.
way, man. You're in international waters. You're Curacao. Like I think about what a nightmare that would, if they are innocent. I think they are, I guess. But like you said, it's who
Right.
really knows. I mean, it wouldn't be the craziest thing I ever heard if they did this. But it's like, how crazy is it that like if your daughter went missing and you're on a cruise ship, it's like you're talking about a panic. Like you said, it's like, do they stay? Do they leave? Maybe she's still on the boat. We just haven't found her. It's like, it's what a freaking terrifying ride that would have been. And then how about think about going all the way back to the States? Like your daughter is gone. And you're
Right.
just like, on a cruise ship. Like that's literally the 11th layer of hell is
Yeah.
what they dealt with going back. Well, everybody's just partying around you, getting drunk, partying, all this
Right.
crap. Like it just sounds horrible, man.
Man, reality, man, reality with that. Hopefully we never have to deal with anything like
Right.
that. That's crazy. Hey, a real quick question for you, Jared. You said you listened to a podcast in reference to that. I didn't know you were into true crime podcasts.
No, it wasn't. It was like it was just a podcast I listened to. They just were like basically what we just did, like just
Talking
chopping up
about it.
this documentary. Basically, we did the same similar conversation. One
Gotcha.
person that saw it kind of gave the lay of the land on what it was. Like, man, this is crazy. And then, like I said, like we happened to be talking about it at the bonfire one of the nights this past week. It seems to be one of the, like, same way with like the Woodstock '99 documentary or the Firefest documentaries. Like this seems to have a little bit of a grip on pop culture and people right now. This Amy
Right.
Bradley is missing. I've been seeing
Well,
so
the brother has been making his rounds on podcasts too. He's been on a couple Barstool podcasts. He did a couple other podcasts. He started up his own like TikTok page and his own social media. So he's trying to put himself out there, but
yeah.
kind of seems like a weird character. Like his stories, I mean, you know, his mind, you know, who knows what he remembers exactly, but his stories have been kind of mixed up sometimes.
I'll have to
you know,
watch
and-
this because he sounds like a character.
Yeah.
he
Well, I'll
looks
definitely
like-
check it out.
Yeah.
Well,
I
good.
mean, oh yeah, it's definitely 3 episodes. It's definitely worth watching.
Absolutely. Well, sounds good. All right. Well, I have more stuff, but I'll save it for another time. We've went on long enough. I guess we'll wrap this up. Special thanks to the Memorial Healthcare Wellness Center. Follow the Wellness Center on Facebook for all details on what's going on there. I also want to thank AZee Branding Solutions, Jacobs Insurance Agency, Kori Shook and Associates Real Estate Services, Nelson House Funeral Homes, Rivals Taphouse and Grille, Success Group Mortgage and Servicing, the Shiawassee County Fair starting up on Sunday, and ALS of Michigan. So maybe we'll see you out at the fair, but have a great week and we'll talk to you next time. Peace and love, everybody. Be kind. Thanks for listening.